that we go through. Tests and trials. That's why the afflictions of the righteous are many, but God delivered them out of them all. Okay, so as we continue to go through hill, valley, mountain, what happens when something stops you? When you can't get past something?
Yeah, right.
What do we do when we can't get past something?
We turn, we go around.
Fast, pray. Did you, Mama, you say pray?
Yes.
You said fast, woman of God? What is it that when we have something that is troubling us so tremendously?
Cry.
That's the whole thing.
Cry.
So, Malakia, Tiana, come here.
Looking at Tiana,
Tiana, come over here.
She said Tiana.
They looking at each other.
She said
both of y'all. She said Lakey, Tiana.
she want Tiana though.
I want you, Malakia. You're going to be the stopping point. Is she a doll?
Oh, it's a
Okay, Tiana.
Oh my God.
God just gave me this. Tiana lost her big sister. Tiana really did lose her big sister too. She had a brain tumor that was, they did everything they could. She lost her big sister. Malakia is like a big sister to Tiana. So this is another type of trial.
Yeah.
We go through life and death situations. But Tiana can't get past her sister's death. I'm not saying that that's true, but I'm just saying this is an example. So every time she come to face it, it will not let her by. As a matter of fact, she just standing there. It's not that she's trying to hold her back. She just needs to get past it. So what can Tiana do to get past grief? You see that? This is the other type of stuff that's in this book.
Have that faith.
Help you get past. It's going to go further than just asking God, just praying. But it says that when you have a trouble that is not with somebody, if somebody's physically fighting you, then you're feeling the pain right then.
Oh yeah.
But when you have a pain that has come to you by way of somebody saying it to you, or just like a grief that come upon you when something happened to somebody else, and now you're hurting, you're sad, you're grief stricken, and you can't get past this person. So what does she need to do?
You go through stages in your life.
Yes, sir.
I can tell her how to get through.
Okay. You say you can tell her how to get through it.
Yeah. Is that,
How does she get through it?
well, she has to know that everything happens for a reason, and well, she gotta believe it. Like when I was going through it with my son, that's the only thing that kept me sane, because I knew everything happened for a reason. I didn't understand it then, and I knew, I'm not gonna understand it now, but I knew it was for a reason. Later you'll see what it is, but you just gotta understand that everything happens for a reason, and you gotta keep moving forward. If you're here, you gotta live while you're alive, and that's how you get through it. That's the only way. Every day, keep moving forward, further away from it. If you stay close to it, you'll never get there.
What do you mean by if you stay close to it? What do you mean by that?
Like I said, you gotta keep moving forward. So, just literally speaking, you got your teeth peppermints, and this is the problem, and you stay here with it your whole life, you'll never get away from it. But if you're moving forward, it gets easy to deal with because it's so far away. It's easy. It's not so much pain when it's this far away, but right here it's really beating you up because you never need it. So you gotta move forward. You gotta keep moving forward every day. When you look back on it, you be like, all this time in between, it gives you things to see why that stuff happened. But if you stay here, you'll never see nothing else but what happened. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am.
I have a friend that was still my friend, but I don't go around as much. But she dwelled on her brother's death, and she still do it. I said, if you stop dwelling on his death, worrying about what he didn't do, what he had to do, or what you wanted him to do, then it would go away. But you just keep holding on to the memory of what he did and what he wasn't there to help you, wasn't there to love you and cover you anymore, because that's what they did, you know, brotherly love, and always taking care of her house and fixing up things for her. I say, you stop doing it. I say, you have to do things for yourself. And you have to get on your knees and ask God to help you to overcome this. And if you don't do that, then you're going to be lost, you know? I mean, everybody's going on with their life, and you still dwelling on something that happened a long time ago. I mean, she's still doing it. He's been dead about 4 years now, maybe 5. And she's still dwelling and talking about it. Every time we get to talking, she starts talking about it. She misses it. You miss it. I miss a lot of people too, but you know, you don't dwell on life like that. You're living. And you have to, life is for living.
That's right.
When you're dead, you're gone.
That's right.
And you're not coming back and let God come and put you up out of that grave.
Okay.
That's the only way you're going to get back.
All right. So Mama said not to dwell on it, and Sandy said to move past it. But there's something you have to do before you can move past it. A lot of times when you get hurts in those manners, you have to write them out or talk them out. And that's truth with any kind of hurt that you have. You're going to have to address it, because any kind of hurt that comes in you, it will not leave unless you... It's on. Is it on?
I knew I couldn't hear you.
Any kind of hurt that I can just talk up. I don't need it. Any kind of hurt that you receive by way of somebody saying something to you, it hurt your feelings or anything like that, the only way that you're going to get past some of this hurt is you have to address the hurt. It has to come out of you. Don't ever think that you can smash and suppress things down and that they're going to be dealt with, because they're not, because you're not dealing with them. I have a friend that went to her grave, never a virgin, because she could not consummate her marriage. Why? Because of something that when she was a little girl, she was molested, and she remembered the person ejaculated on her leg, and she remembered that. It caused her to have a mental psyche thing, and there's a disease that deals with the psyche called dyspareunia. She was not able to get past that. Therefore, she had to get a divorce, because she could not even consummate her marriage. She couldn't go forward in the normal capacity that. What? Do we have things that come in our minds so strongly that we cannot seem to let them go or get past them? But I want you to know today that you can get past anything with God, that He is sovereign and above everything. He is, what you have to understand, that sovereign means above every power, above every principality, above everything. So that when she comes to this place, she has to talk about it. She's talking about it, even in her prayer closet where the sister's still before her. And then she needs to give it to God. That's how you first, because people want to tell you that hurts. You know, they come to you and they talk to you and they say, well, you can get over this, and well, how come you're not over it yet? You ain't over him already? He done left you and did all the stuff to you, and you still not over him? No, that's not the thing that's sticking out when you're not over something. It's the fact that there's a process in everything that you go through. So you have to process out of pain. You have to process out of the hurt. So first of all, she's going to have to face her problem, is that, you know, the issue that she's having is that, Lord, I just can't get past my sister leaving me here, so I'm asking you to help me. I'm going to receive by faith the ability to get past this. In you saying you receive it by faith, that says, my heart doesn't say it, but I'm willing. That gives God the permission to move on your behalf to help put things in line for you to do so. You understand what I'm saying? That goes true to all of you having any kind of issues in your life, that you can say, I'm willing, and I do it by faith. That doesn't mean you feel like it. It just means that you're willing. And God, if you're willing, we know that God we serve is able. So she said that prayer. Now go past it. Go around. Now she's here. Stand right here. Put your back to it. You still going forward, just like Sammy said, right? Okay, so you're going forward. So in going forward, you have to know. Now, everybody has to have a foundation. My foundation is in God. And so we'll just say your foundation is in God. And in God, it says that you must believe God is, and that He's a rewarder of those that diligently seek Him. You must believe. You have to trust in Him with all your heart. He says, trust in me with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge me, and I will make your path straight. Amen. Commit your ways unto me, and I will establish your thoughts. Okay? So you every day. Then it doesn't stop the picture from coming up. Come back over here, Lakey. It doesn't stop the memory from coming up. But you're just not going to receive it the same way. Lord, I thank you that I'm going to, whatever was taught to me by my sister, I'm going to cherish the memories and I'm going to move forward. I'm going to understand that in my foundation that you are sovereign and above all, and you make no mistakes or blunders. That's going to help you get past it. That you make no mistakes. You make no mistakes. There you're getting past it again. You're growing. You're going further down in healing. You understand? So like you stand way over there. So just like Sammy was saying, she's getting further and further away from the grief that she was dealing with, and now she's moving into the place of healing. And that's true with everything that we go through. And so that's how you have to face those things. Sometimes we have to speak it out of our mouth. It says that Satan is the accuser of the brethren. That means he's going to keep bringing it back to you and bringing it back. Well, your sister not here. She can't help you. There are trigger points that are going to come up, and trigger points to pain that you may be having. But you have to say, Satan, don't come to me with that. I gave that to God. Every time you say it, your situation, that pain, him coming back to you, his voice is going to get lighter and lighter till eventually you don't hear it no more. Okay? And then you'll be able to walk with the memory of your sister with the strength instead of breaking down with the grief. Be glad that God, that He gave her to you for as many years that He did give her to you, and that you're moving forward in the life that He has for you right now. Amen? Amen. So, get my sisters a hand clap. So Tiana got past she started getting past, it's like, that's not like the trial that she just went through. That's a grief. That's a process. Yeah. That's a hurt that has to be processed out. So is there a difference between some of the trials and tribulations that God allows us to go through with our bills and our children and situations like that? Yes, because these are the things you have to make up your mind suddenly that I'm going to trust God and believe God and do what He would have me to do, so you can get past those things. Because if you don't, they're going to ever be before you, and the more you think about it, the more weight comes upon you. That's why we suffer from neck ache, lower back pain, that we suffer a headache across here. Why? It's called tension. Do you know this faith that I'm talking about? You can't see it. We can't see the faith physically. They've always told us that faith is the substance of things hoped for. The substance of things. Get that in? The substance. Today you can see this faith. This faith is going to keep growing as you keep moving forward in life. It's substance. We're line upon line, precept, faith to faith, glory to glory. So it's growing, it's growing. But if you have come into a place in your life where you can't move forward, then you stop growing. Yeah. Therefore, your faith stops growing. Do you know that you have to have faith to even believe for certain things? Yes. You have to have faith for even those things to come to pass. So why do we have some people that are prosperous and some people that are not? Some people have stopped in their lives from moving forward in God, and therefore they're not growing in faith. The thing that is the evidence of stuff that they want. And so they can never receive the things that they want because they don't have the faith to believe it and don't have the substance in this walk in life to obtain it, because it's not there. Why? Because you have stopped at a trigger point. You have stopped at pain. You have stopped at something happening in your life that God is saying you can get past. Be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. If you believe the God that you serve, if He's really sovereign in your life, if He's the God that you trust in, then you will money. You're doing all these things that he did not tell you to do. Therefore, you have to go back through this trial again. How many know people that have been through the same thing over and over and over and over? Because they didn't pass the test.
Right.
It's just like in school. When you're in school, you're being tested. If you don't pass the test, they make you take it again.
Yes.
Do y'all understand what I'm saying? So by you not surrendering unto God and trusting in him and resting in his word for your life, by you not doing those things, you have stopped yourself from getting the faith for the things that God has for your life, the things that you are to obtain in faith. You allowed the enemy to tell you, you're not going to be able to go to school. You can't even think straight. He want to give you all these things, put this stuff in your mind, and here you are listening to him, but you serve a sovereign God. I want you to know that every trial that you go through, and you can remember that when Jesus was they had him tied, and he was being beaten. He was being beaten with a cat o' nine tails. And in the movie, let's talk about the Passion of Christ. He was being beaten every time and then he would hit the ground, and his hands were still tied to that pole. Have you ever been through something or hurt so bad that you was just literally in the hurt, you was just shaking like this? It hurt so bad, you were literally trembling because the pain was so excruciating. So here it is, God falling down here, they hit him again. The skin is coming off his back, and they telling him, I can hear people in the movie saying, don't get up, don't get up. But if he hadn't got up, in the name of Jesus, if he hadn't got up, then we wouldn't be healed of diseases and illnesses that we are healed of. We wouldn't be able to come to God and be helped as he is our hospital to go into. His word is a life unto our body, health to all our flesh. Everything that he overcame, it was for us to have the abundant life. So as you are going through your trials, shake it. Bam! That's another thing. You lost your house. One of your children are sick to death, and you don't know where y'all gonna live. They need to be on a respirator. They need to be they have oxygen. You can't pay for it, and the God is saying, hold on, I got your back. You get hit, bam! You hurting, trembling. Your child is gone, but you still got to trust God. They say, stay down. Your child is gone. You better stay down. Don't get back up. Don't get back up. Something else going to happen to you. Bam! Your husband divorced you. It was your fault that the child died. You shake it. I can't do this, Lord. I can't do this. You get hit again. Bam! More skin come off of your back. More life. You just lost your job. You just lost your job, and everybody around you is talking about you because they said you was crazy for serving that God that you do, and he hadn't done anything for you. See, the pain is coming in. God is telling you to trust him, but you don't understand. You can't really see it all. He said we know in part and we prophesy in part. You're down there. Every time you go through a trial, a tribulation, every time you go through these things, it's adding structure to you. Every time you overcome it. See, you might have lost your child, but you came to a place of understanding that God is sovereign. Once you lost your child, he brought everything you needed to be able to bury that child. But he gave you, that child gave hope to so many, it was a seed planted in the ground for so many other young people to come to him. We never understand, but I'm going to tell you how life really works. We're to walk in God, walk towards God, understand and know God for who he is personally, so that we can have the things that he has given us to do and to obtain in this life so that we can be a help to other people. That's what your life is all about. But if you start to come to a place in your mind where you're only thinking about you, your forward and no more, then you'll stop in the things that God is calling you to. You're going forward and you're receiving a little bit of faith each time. But by the time you get to the place of completion, that means complete lacking nothing. That means being ready for the work and the call You are ready to move forward in the things that God has called you to. And now what happens? You have the faith to pray for people to be healed. You have, it's in your shadow to be able to, that people can be healed in your shadow. It's in your words and the experiences that you've gone through that you can walk people through step by step. It is in what God has given you to do as a forerunner that you have gone through and witnessed some of these things that you're going to be able to help others. Now, what is it that we're called to? He said, love thy neighbor as thyself. He said, be a living sacrifice. That means you're alive. You're living. As I was down there being beaten, that was all the stuff that I was going through. All the pains and hurts, divorce, situations that come up in your life. But the reason why I stayed, what you saw in me holding on to this thing and holding on, what you saw was me continuing to walk in God. That's what my continue to be beat, my getting up like this and hit again, my going down, getting up, hit again. That's all them hits that happen in your life. And as you got those hits and received that experience, it is the thing that helps you to be what God called you to be, so that you can be a help to others. Are apple trees made so that it can eat its own apples? No. We are fruit. The fruit of our lives is like on a tree that somebody else might come grab fruit and eat and be nourished. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is what God is saying, to be a living sacrifice. But if you walk and there's an issue that comes up in your life, the enemy bringing words to you, and you don't press forward to keep moving forward, then you stuck where you are.
Yes.
So will you ever come to the place of having the kind of faith that you need, just standing there, because you should be way up there. Would you ever come to the place of having everything that you need to obtain the things that God said you would?
Not standing.
Not if you stopped. Not if you stopped. Jesus went down and got back up, got hit again. He kept moving. His getting up and getting hit again was his continue to walk forward. Regardless. What he seen, what he saw, what he heard. Regardless of what's going on in your life, what you're doing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's what God is saying to us on today. And that's what I have for you in this book. It's going to teach you the processes of God. It's going to teach you how to hear from God, how to know how it is that God speaks to us. It will teach you to know, just like I just gave them the answer of how we're made in the image